As you can see from this map here, we work in not just in the UK but in different parts of the world, so hopefully we can explore this evening the way that creative spaces have a different complexion in different contexts.
Well, Banksy's a very interesting, enigmatic figure.
Yeah.
And he's somebody, obviously, who nobody knows who he is, and he's created this aura about him. And I think, in some ways, he symbolises the role of the artist in society today. He revels in and celebrates the marginal, and he explores what I call the liminal areas of the city and makes them come alive and relevant again. And I think that's the role of artists and creative people more generally. That our cities are full of forgotten areas of dark back streets, old industrial spaces, and actually they can have a relevance and should have a relevance as an opportunity for our cities as they change. And I think that an artist such as Banksy plays that role. And Google has grown through collaborative thinking, by thinking about outside the box, about new business models, about how we connect, it's a sort of tacit thing that's based on how we develop knowledge, how we connect with each other. And I think sectors that ignore the role of people working in the mainstream creative industries will not innovate as quickly as they will if they're working with that sector. It's almost like there are different horizons for innovation, and you basically innovation happens much faster if you reach a more distant horizon if you collaborate and work across different sectors. And I think there's an opportunity to do that in Russia because there's a history here of really strong sciences, really strong art, cultural sector. Potentially there could be something that can bring these things together and create something amazing. What's interesting is that somewhere like Scotland, or certainly in parts of England which historically were about steel, as one example, they're actually making a lot of steel still today. It's still a big industry, but it doesn't employ as many people. It doesn't create as much value to the economy. So what they're doing is they're diversifying. So Sheffield, which is this old steel city, now makes a lot of medical instruments, a lot of really precision tools and equipment, and it does that by having a really strong approach to design, technology, and creativity. So the traditional industries haven't died, but they've diversified and changed because it's very difficult for them to be. They're a very low wage sector. It's a choice. I mean, it depends where you are. I think, and it also depends what we mean by creativity. So I think thinking creativity, that's obviously one thing, that's one interpretation, and that's simple, and maybe that's just an empty statement. Applying creativity is another thing, and I think that everywhere can do that. It's not just about industry, it's about how we plan our services, how we deliver education, deliver healthcare, all these things. And in some parts of the world, it's also about how creativity becomes the main tool. The talent is the main asset. So if you lots of places in the world haven't got steel, or they haven't got nickel, or they haven't got gas, etc. So they have to have other kinds of assets. And it just happens that in parts of the UK, parts of Western Europe, they have developed leadership in thinking of creativity as the asset. It doesn't mean that they will always have that advantage, but they've just focused on that because they have to. And I think that agenda probably also applies to parts of Russia. Not all of Russia, but parts of Russia. And also we need to think about what happens when all of our, all of the natural resources diminish. We can't rely on them forever. No.